is that everybody is looking at this stand your ground law from the perspective of Mrs. Zimmerman. Why not look at it from the perspective of the victim? Because guess what? Trayvon Martin was exercising his right to stand his ground. It's a dark, rainy night. You're walking down the street. An unknown assailant is following you in an SUV. You think you've lost him. Now he's gotten out of his car. He's following you. He has a gun. So the question should become, was Trayvon Martin exercising his stand your ground rights? Precisely. Why this is important is because there's a Florida statute, and then there is the standard jury instructions. And the standard jury instruction in a self-defense case says that if you provoked the attack against yourself, you can't argue self-defense.
All right, I understand that. I've heard that argument, and we've got a defense attorney here. Mark, what are you going to do with that if you're trying to defend these? Is everyone making an appropriate point here?
Yeah, no, personally, I don't disagree with anything that's been said. I think he should be charged. What the defense lawyer is going to argue are these new facts that came out, released by the Orlando Sentinel via law enforcement, apparently corroborated by witnesses, that Trayvon Martin allegedly punched the Zimmerman in the mouth. Apparently he had blood to show the cops. He also then allegedly got on top of him.
What if that was him standing his ground?
Hold on. Listen to me. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm saying that those facts are coming out. Now, what would preclude Zimmerman from prevailing, I believe, is a statute known as 776.041. Karen Mills referred to it. If he was the initial aggressor, it wouldn't apply. And number two, if he was committing a forcible felony. If he came out with his gun and assaulted Martin as he's simply walking down the street, then that would take him out of the protection of stand your ground. So I don't think it applies. I don't think the problem is the stand the ground law. I think it's how it's being applied. It's being misapplied, and hopefully this new prosecutor will apply it properly.
Thank goodness you brought up 776.041. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I had to pull that out sometime.
I want to bring something else up. Tonight, CNN confirms that Trayvon was apparently suspended from school for the 10 days in the weeks preceding this horrible incident. An empty plastic bag found in Martin's book bag tested positive for pot, for marijuana, apparently. Roland, is any of this relevant? I know it's creating a lot of news. Is that relevant at all? So what's what I say?
Actually,
I'm asking Roland, though.
Here's what I'm trying to figure out, because previously I read a report through the Miami Herald and the Kansas City newspaper where the principal there said Trayvon Martin was suspended not for doing anything illegal, but for being found in a part of the school building that was unauthorized. And so this whole idea of this bag or whatever, the question is, where is it actually coming from? And so that's simply I want to know. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter. The reason, now, I'm not excusing anything. The reason it doesn't matter is because that has nothing to do with the shooting on that particular night. The question that any prosecutor, any special prosecutor, any grand jury, any jury has to say is, wait a minute, what took place on the night of February 26th? Not what happened when he was suspended at school. Was he doing anything illegal? That's the question. Was he trespassing? Was he?
Not only that,
so that's the real issue.
You guys, I have to go to break. But you realize how silly the implication is here. Oh, if he's smoking pot, he's a bad kid. He's going to do bad things. Reefer madness, guys. It was reefer madness, I'm telling you.
It's
so ridiculous.